and welcome to my channel. My name is Mouse, sometimes Andy, and I talk about books and book-related things, and today I'm going to be talking about my July TBR. If you do see the dog in the frame, I can't tell. I don't know if she's in the frame. My dog is being very needy, so sorry in advance. Also, if you hear beeping in the background, I don't know if you heard that. I do have a new mic, so I'm hoping not. But if you hear beeping in the background, that is most definitely the parrot that I live with. I have no control over him. He runs my life. It's fine. But I do want to give that fair warning because I know that it can be a little bit much for some people with auditory issues. So I'm going to do my best to edit the sounds out, but I make no guarantees. Alright, well, let's get this show on the road. The first thing I'm going to talk about, because it's the fastest thing for me to talk about, is my childhood rereads series. So I will be reading the House of Night series. I most definitely read this in high school, but I've had many people tell me that I need to read it again. It is still quite a lot of people's favorites, so I'm going to be interested to see if I agree with that sentiment. I do know that notoriously I don't like vampire content, and I didn't really like it as a teenager. I just feel like it was the only thing that I could get my hands on at the time. I know that may not be true, but from where I lived in the South, it was really the only thing I could get my hands on from a fantasy YA aspect, because my other options seemed like they were way more romance-based. These are obviously romance-based to an extent, but basically, in the House of Night series, Zoe is marked by a vampire and has been singled out by the goddess Nyx. She has to go to a new boarding school for baby vampires, and stuff happens. It's a young adult. There's probably a romance triangle, just based on like the patterns with young adult novels, but from back then. I don't have high expectations. There is a shit ton of these books, though. There's 12 of them. So I don't have the highest of expectations with this series, but a lot of people have recommended it to me, so we will see how it goes, I guess. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the series continuations that I'm going to be doing. This is just series that I've been in the middle of, and I kind of want to, get them to their completion. The first one is CLEARURSHT by Terry Brooks, and then Tanaquil by Terry Brooks. Those are both the next two books in the genre series. I think I'm going to start trying to read 2 books every month from the genre series because I'm trying to get it wrapped up. I am a completionist, and so it makes it very hard for me to just abandon a series that I'm so far into. If I was only like 1 or 2 into the series, then I probably would just be like, I'm out, but I'm like 10 in now, and so it's kind of hard to just be like, no, especially when occasionally some of these books do differ from Terry Brooks' like regular spiel, but we'll see, right? He could, not surprise me at all by sticking to the same script. The next is going to be the Blood of Olympus and just the Blood of Olympus. The Blood of Olympus by Riordan, and that is in the Heroes of Olympus series from Riordan. This is just a continuation. I believe it is like the peak of everything that's been building up so far, where the Romans and the Greek demigods have to band together to fight Gaia, who's being a bitch, basically. That's it. She's being a bitch. So yeah, they just band together. I'm assuming there's going to be a war. I'm enjoying it a lot. So yeah. Next is going to be Damia's Children and Lion's Pride from Anne McCaffrey from the Tower and the Hive series. So I wasn't going to continue this series because the first and second book felt like smut in space, which is not my jam. I tweeted that though, and a lot of romance readers were like, tell me more, and I was like, oh sorry, I fast forwarded through all the sex parts, and that's like 90% of the book. Yeah, smut in space, which was a little disappointing because it's Anne McCaffrey and I really like Anne McCaffrey, but also not surprising though because she has the whole like dragons mating, so the humans mate, brain bond situation in the Dragon Riders of Pern. So not like the most surprising, but still a little bit weird for me, especially because my dad recommended these books to me and he feels the same way that I do about smut. So it's been really fun for me to mention it to him because he's just like, I forgot. Anyway, he has undiagnosed ADHD. Anyway, I'm going to be reading those because apparently I was looking at reviews and apparently these are the best books in the entire series, and they focus less on the smut and more on the plot, which is what I want. So We'll see. I may regret this decision, but we're going to give it a shot. The next one is The Heroes of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. This is the next book in the Mistborn series. The reason I've been putting this off is because it's long as hail. Brandon Sanderson doesn't understand, I don't know, short attention spans. His books are incredibly long. So I take a very long time to finish his series just because they're incredibly long. His young adult series, not so much, right? So Skyward, not too long, very enjoyable, loved that, and that was what got me into Sanderson's writing. And then, like, I realized after starting the first Mistborn book, which was pretty long, I was like, oh shit, they just get longer from here. Cool, cool, cool. Can't wait to suffer. I don't like long books. Not my favorite thing. Next is going to be Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch. This is the next book in the Gentlemen Bastards series. This is heists, pirates, that kind of thing. That's all I got. It's very long. I enjoyed the first book. It was recommended to me by my friend Caitlin a while back, and I just haven't picked it up in a while because my library didn't have the second book, but since I got a new library card at a new library, they have the second book, so I'm going to keep listening. Next we have new books, new series, whatever. It's going to be Kingdom of Souls and Reaper of Souls by Rina Barron. Basically, there is an heir to 2 lines of powerful witches. She yearns for a magic of her own, though. Kids start to go missing, and so she decides to do a dangerous ritual. And, you know, we shouldn't be doing that, but she does do it, and that is what the first book is about, and then there is the sequel. I didn't look what the sequel was about because I didn't want to ruin... Sometimes the summary of a sequel for a book that you haven't read the first book of, like, spoils itself, and so I didn't read that. The next is The Last Windwitch by Jennifer Adam. There was a powerful Windwitch a billion years ago that kept the land bountiful and happy, but then dark magic drove her away and the world fell into chaos, and this is about, like, them trying to get the world back. Next is The Memory Thief by Jodi Lynn Anderson. Little Rosie is trying to save her mom. She's going to find the hidden layers of the underrealm to do so, and basically she's finding out that the reality that she knew and understood wasn't true. None of it was true. This is a middle grade, so I'm kind of excited about it. I like middle grades where they have to, like, save a parent and, like, go into some kind of secret world they didn't know about. Generally, like, fairy related is my usual jam, so I'm pretty hyped about this one. Next is A Master of Jinn by P. Jelly Clark. I have read this author's writing before with Ring Shout, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm pretty excited about this book. Apparently it's a continuation in a world that he has already created, but it is his first full-length novel, so I'm very excited about that. Basically, a woman who works for a ministry of the supernatural has prevented the destruction of the universe, and someone starts murdering people with some kind of secret brotherhood, and so this agent has to figure all of that out. So it seems dark and supernatural and like maybe thrillery, so I'm pretty excited to read it. Next is The Infinity Quartz by Akemi Dawn Bowman. This is a sci-fi about a teen girl who is navigating the afterlife, and she has to defeat an AI entity intent on destroying humanity, as you do, you know? Then we have 2 books by Rick Riordan, The Hidden Oracle and the Dark Prophecy. This is the first book in the Trials of Apollo, where basically Zeus is pissed off at Apollo and makes Apollo a human boy. So just continuing on with that entire Rick Riordan universe, so I'm probably going to finish all of those books by the end of the year. I'm enjoying them a lot, so, you know. Then Hex Life by a bunch of authors. This is an anthology about witches, and y'all know that witches is my jam, so that's all I have to say about that. Imposter by Scott Westerfield. This is a dystopian sci-fi world, and one person has like a body double, and someone's starting to figure out that it's a body double. I don't know if it's a clone. I don't know if it's a twin. I don't know. I liked Scott Westerfield's Uglies series, and in fact plan on rereading it for my childhood reread, so I'm interested to see how his writing has evolved since 2012. Or before, I don't remember when I read those books. I'm interested to see in how his writing has evolved since then, and if I'll enjoy it, you know? Next is The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. This is the next book in the Truly Devious series. I thought Truly Devious was just going to be a trilogy, so we'll see how it goes. Basically, the mystery was solved, so I guess she's getting a new mystery. It just seems like a ploy to get more money. I don't know, the cover's pretty, my library has it, we'll see. We'll see what happens, right? Then we have Trouble Girls by Julia Lynn Rubin. This is basically a queer retelling of Thelma and Louise. I never watched the movie, so I don't have very many expectations with regards to the retelling aspect, but you say queer retelling, and I'm like, alright. So, here we are. Also, I think the cover's really pretty, so. Then, actually, the next two books that I have on this list are books that I'm actually going to manage to read this month of June, so I will not be mentioning them. So that's it. That's my TBR for July. It is a little bit much, even for me. I think the reason that I am loading myself so heavily is because I get anxious at the idea of not knowing what to read next. So, love that for me. No pressure at me. It's fine. It's fine. Thanks for watching. If you have any of these books on your TBR, or if you've read any of them and want to, like, are excited about me reading them and talking about them, let me know in the comments down below. I'd be very interested to hear. I am going to go though. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share if you liked this video. If you didn't like this video, let me know in the comments down below how I can do better. If it's just me though, I get it. That I get. I definitely get that. Anyway, don't forget to take your meds and drink your water and take care of yourselves. I will see you guys on Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time and again on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Take care of yourselves. Okay, thanks. Bye.